meeting to order on June the 17th at 9 in the morning. At this time, we have roll call.
Mr. Parker?
Here.
Mrs. Flanagan?
Here.
Mr. Bradley?
Here.
Mr. Martin?
Here.
Dr. Stambo? Mrs. Whitlow? Mr.
Here.
I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. All right, Mrs. Flanagan made the motion, Mr. Martin second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All right, consent agenda. Is there anything on the consent agenda that we need to pull out separately to put on the action agenda?
I don't have anything that we need to pull out to take action on, but I would like to make a note on the one item in the consent agenda.
Okay.
All right. Item 6, approval of estimated end of year accounts payable. And you already got it up. Okay. And I just want to make a note here of our list of vendors. And one of the reasons why I want to do this is because, of course, Henry County Public Schools being one of the largest employers in the county. And, I don't know, you may hear too, a lot of misconceptions about us spending our money and not supporting local businesses. I guess this is Mr. Scott or Dr. Boone may be able to answer this in that looking at this list of vendors, and this just for the month, I guess, some bills we have to pay. How many local businesses that we see on this particular list?
Well, I'm trying to answer the question. When we go out to purchase an item, we are required to obtain quotes. So we are required to obtain 3 quotes, going up to $20,000 and after $20,000, and then we do bids after that. And through the bid process, we pick the best vendor. If we do an RFP, we do a bid, we do interviews, and we determine which is the best vendor and product for that.
And can you speak to like how many or his
From the facility side now, on the other item that talked about bills paid for the month, that's the item that I haven't looked through that one. And that particular one that was paid this particular month had 13 locally owned businesses that we had paid bills for that particular month. And then we also, at that particular list as well, we also had 6 of those vendors / contractors that have locally owned businesses, okay, and have stores here and have employees that work in that live in Martin and Henry County. So between those, I guess a total of 19 roughly affected Martin and Henry County out of that bills for payment list, the first item.
Well, and here again, I just want the public to know that we do support local businesses, and being that we are a large employer, we want our money in our county, in our area.
Right. Yeah. Is that a precedence that we do the local people?
Yes, sir. As Dr. Boone was explaining, we try to always go local when we can. Like there's some things, if you look up there, like Power School Renewal, we don't have any company in Henry County that has the capability or the function of Power School.
Right.
Or like when we buy the Apple devices, we don't have a company in Henry County that produces. So we do try to go local. But as Dr. Boone said, we do an RFP, more flexibility than a bid, but with a bid, the best price for our the money. We all try to be financially responsible and give back to our community at the same time.
I need a motion then to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bradley made the motion. Mrs. Flanagan second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, now we move on to the action agenda. The first item on there is to approve an award for an engineering, architect and engineering services.
Good morning,
Mr.
Mr.
Scott.
Chairman, members of the board. A request for proposal was issued to establish multi-year term contract renewable for a total term of 5 years for professional architect and engineering services. 4 firms responded with proposals, and the evaluation committee reviewed proposals, interviewed all 4 firms on June 9, 2021, and ranked them based on that criteria that you see below. As a result of the interviews, the evaluation committee is recommending 2 firms, Crabtree, Warbar and Associates, and RRMM. And so it's recommended that the contract for A&E services as needed be awarded to Crabtree, Warbar and Associates, and RRMM. It's also recommended that the division be authorized to exercise subsequent renewals in accordance to the terms of the contract. And as you know, these services will be used as we move forward with projects such as facilities conditions assessment, the expansion of the GW Carver cafeteria and kitchen. Some of the funds have been made from the ESSER funds projects that's coming along as well. And these services will be used for design, bidding, and construction administration.
What have we used Crabtree on before?
I have not.
That's what I thought, we'd never used them.
Right, this will
But
be our first.
they come well recommended.
They do, and they have the committee, after doing the interviews, recognized they have a lot of experience in K-12 throughout their experience in the years, and so this will be our first usage as far as my experiences with them, but we're looking forward to it. I think they did a great job in the interviews.
RRMM, they do good work, but I mean, just remind them that we'd like to keep their estimates. The estimates don't come in high like Meadowview, okay?
Absolutely.
Move we approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. Zaire made the motion, Ms. Flanagan second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next one is approval to award bids for copier and high-speed digital duplication service program.
The last time I came up here, I didn't say good morning to the chairman and good morning to the board. The County of Henry and Henry County Public Schools solicits vendors to supply a copier and high-speed digital duplicator service program. The current contract ends June 30th. 3 vendors responded to the RFP. It is recommended that the bid be awarded to Toshiba Business Solutions starting July 1st with an initial 3-year term fixed price contract starting July 1st until June of 2024, and then with the option to renew every year for 5 additional years. The total estimated cost is going to be $135,000. I am happy to say that Toshiba is going to be putting all new copier machines in our buildings, and they actually have like a self-maintenance detection system, so if the copier jams, and everybody's been in the buildings knows when it jams, it kind of ruins your day, especially if it's 5 o'clock in the evening you're trying to get home. So that self-maintenance system will send an alert to the technician, and so the technicians will come out there. They'll know to come out without somebody having to make a phone call and things like that. So brand new copier machines, and you have that.
Any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve this item.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Flanagan made the motion. Mr. Growley second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Approved. Thank you. Does anyone have any matters from the board?
I've been to a few schools, I understand summer school is running pretty smooth, is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's what we hear. Summer school is going along well. We still have our children, the enrollment increasing, so we'll keep our hopes up high that that'll be the trend for summer school.
Anyone else?
Only thing I would say is I certainly concur with Mr. Radley's comments, and I know several members of the board have been pretty vocal about the preference for local businesses. So thank you for bringing that up.
The retreat that we had scheduled in July is currently off the table. It's not going to take place till in the fall sometime. So if you put that in your calendar, make sure you white it out or whatever the case may be. I don't have, with my agenda here, I don't have any upcoming VSBA things. Do you have some, Teddy?
Well, if you go to the conferences, we got the conference on education will be July 20th, and then the two big ones, which will be the returns to in-person. The legislative advocacy is September 23rd, and that's where, you know, the gubernatorial, lieutenant gubernatorial, and so forth candidates will be. If you want to go see them and hear their answers on education-related items. And then, of course, the 17th through the 19th is the annual convention, and since that books up pretty fast, I would definitely recommend seeing the clerk if you're interested in him.
17th of November, right?
Yes, November 17th and 19th.
At Williamsburg.
In Williamsburg.
Okay.
I will be around the building all over the place though, so that's the...
So we don't disturb you at that time?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you don't see me at a given moment, that's what's happening.
Okay. All right. Thank you for informing us of those conferences. I need a motion at this time to go into closed session to discuss items 2.2-377A1 and 2.2-3711A8.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Zaire made the motion, Ms. Flanagan second. At this time, we go into closed session.